This is NewsBreak26 in southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. It was more than just a pride march in St. Stephen this weekend. It was a message, rainbow stretched across a river, meant to reach those who might need it most on the other side. The 2025 Charlotte County Pride March brought dozens of people together, meeting in the Dooley's parking lot before making their way down King Street to Milltown Boulevard, where the United States is visible just across the St. Croix River. Organizers chose St. Stephen, Charlotte County's iconic border town across the river from Calais, Maine, as this year's host location for a reason: to stand in solidarity with their American neighbors at a time when LGBTQ+ rights are under increasing pressure in many U.S. states.
We've tried to move it around a bit. In the last 2 years, we've had it in St. Andrews, it's been in St. George, we've had it in St. Stephen a few times. We felt it was important to come back this year because of everything that's happening south of the border.
Todd Ross has lived this fight before. In the 1990s, he was discharged from the Canadian military simply for being gay.
We're also seeing so many of the state legislatures that are pulling back on rights. So we wanted to be here on the border to look across to the U.S. side and say, we're here, we're your neighbors, we're your friends, and we support the queer community in the U.S.
Ross says the river that separates the two countries is narrow, but the ties that bind the communities are deep.
We have relatives on the U.S. side, we have friends, really neighbors. So the fact that we're just separated from a river in a border community, it's just a river. We're one large community separated by an international boundary line. We felt it was important to reach out to the Down East Rainbow Alliance, and we reached out to them to say, this is why we're doing Pride in St. Stephen this year. We just want to know if you want to come and join us. And they've come and they've set up a really nice booth here today and more information about what they're doing on the U.S. side.
Got a lot of support today. There's so many people in Canada that are supporting, and we came over to show that there's people in the U.S. and even local, like a mile that way, that there's hundreds of people here for everyone. It makes me want to cry a little bit. It's so sweet to see so many people supporting me. Someone came over here, like a 6-year-old with free lemonade, and was like, this is for you, and I got a lot of cheers and stuff, and it's so nice to see that there's so much support in another country, even though you guys don't even know us. You guys are just cheering us on, and it fills my heart with so much love.
Ross says Pride is about visibility and celebration, but it's also about vigilance.
We want to celebrate the successes that we've had, but it also still remains political. We have to make sure that we keep our rights that we fought hard to gain, often in the courts, and that we're vigilant to ensure that we don't have people trying to take our rights away that we've seen in the U.S.
Because sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is simply showing up. An internationally renowned historic island near St. Andrews is struggling to make ends meet due to a lack of funding. For more on this, here is CHCO's Lukas Kohler.
The business operating Ministers Island says it is under threat. It receives $100,000 per operating season, a fraction of the amount that other historical sites get.
When we were first established in 2008, the government gave us $33,000, even though a report said they should give us $1 million. Since then, it's gone up to the $100,000, but it's stayed there for a number of years, despite rising costs and things of that nature.
In 2024, Ministers Island saw 23,937 visitors. A similar historic site, King's Landing, had 35,275, just 11,000 more than Ministers Island. But it was funded to the tune of $3.6 million.
Basically, the lack of funding means that we can't invest in the island. We can't offer new offerings. We can't switch up our exhibits.
It isn't the only historic site facing trouble under the provincial funding model. The MacDonald Farm Heritage Site says it is shutting down. It is with deep regret that the Highland Society of New Brunswick at Miramichi announces that MacDonald Farm Heritage Site will not be operating for the 2025 season due to inadequate funding from the provincial government. Even as it struggles to find new investment, visitors are still enjoying what the island has to offer and are coming back.
So far we've just been in the house, and we just completed the entire house tour, and I really think it's a great spot. I was here last year with my husband.
Kershaw says the island can exist and operate without the Van Horn estate, but argues it wouldn't be the same. He explained the difference is the organization is locally run with community members involved in making the island a true Charlotte County experience.
My advice is to people here and to visitors or the locals, go visit Minister's Island now while you can, because I'm told that come the end of August, if the board hasn't heard back from the Premier, and I think they wrote to her in May, they're done.
Running it from Fredericton would mean the loss of that local voice. Lukas, Kohler, CHCO-TV, St. Andrews.
That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, visit CHCO and the Courier online at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.